Now, one of the things I recommend to young people, especially true for people in their 20s, is that you should push yourself beyond your limits of tolerance in your 20s to find out where it is. How much can you work? How disciplined can you become? Like, can you work 12 hours a day? Can you work 8 hours a day? Can you work 3 hours a day? Like, flat out, where's your limit? And how much work can you do, and how much socialization? You should find out. Push yourself past and then back off to that point where it's optimally sustainable.
There are situations outside, there are impediments, challenges, but your own mind, your own emotion, your own attitude should not become an impediment and a challenge. If you are not a challenge to yourself, rest we will handle to the best of our capabilities.
If you focus enough on enhancing your competence, you will see there is such joy in breaking limitations every day and becoming something better. You don't care a damn how somebody else is doing. Yes, if every day, if you're breaking limitations.
It's good to know that it's good to think about that as a goal. It's like you're trying to discover what your limitations are when you're in your 20s, so that you can hit that edge, so that you can sustain yourself across the decades. And so, yeah, because you don't want to have too much fun, right? Too much fun takes you out. You don't want to be the oldest guy at the disco. You know, it's not fun being the 40-year-old at the singles bar, precisely. So you want to make sure that what you're doing is age appropriate, and you want to push yourself in every direction that you can, but you should be doing that with an aim in mind. It's like you're trying to make yourself into a better and more competent person. And so some discipline along with the fun is a good idea.
If you are breaking the limitations of who you are, if your competence, you're working constantly to expand, you don't even have the time to look at somebody, how is he doing? Because this is such a great thing happening within you. So please focus on your competence. Competition, you don't bother. If you're good, you will be on the top, otherwise you'll be somewhere.
For me, with hard work, it always pays off, and dedication. Also, I would just want to say, with all the work that Loris has been doing, I look forward to being a part of it with my foundation also, to join and to help as much as I possibly can now that I'm coming to the end of my career. I'm looking forward to that. And before I go, I want to say one thing. One of my mottos is that, anything is possible. Don't think limits. And I feel that I've proven that throughout the years. I never thought I would be this great at what I've done, but I want to say to the young kids growing up, just live your dream, work hard, stay focused, and just be strong, and just keep on pushing, and it will come true.
All of us talk about self-talk. Self-talk is big nowadays. It's big. But a lot of us are self-talking lies without having put in the f***ing work. When you get to the time where you need to draw on this self-talk, you can lie. So your mind says, we're done. The end is too far away. So you start drawing on all these different tools. The tools don't work for you if you haven't put the time in. So what I'm doing now is I'm calming my mind down before I start self-talking. Then I start to reflect back on all the years I put into making myself who I am today.
If you put yourself in a new situation, new genes turn on inside you, and they activate parts of you that have not yet come alive. These experiences that you had where you're voluntarily confronting what's dangerous, that changes you in a way that can't be attained by anyone who hasn't had that experience. Right? If you haven't pushed yourself to your limit, especially I would say with regard to the fear of death, then there's a change that hasn't occurred within you, and I would say it's a fundamental change of maturation. And if you go absolutely everywhere, every bit of you will turn on.
All the hours, all the months I put in for training for that race, all the 3 o'clock in the morning times I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and my feet were so f***ed up and I was so just sore from the night before that I'm sitting there just looking at my running shoes like this, and then an hour later I put them on. That's what I'm thinking about. All those days to get me to this moment right now at mile 75, where I'm all f***ed up. What the f*** are you thinking now? That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that will not be for f***ing nothing. We're gonna figure out a way to get through this.
As I got to a point, I'd be running, and I was like, okay, man, we could do 10 miles today.
I get to 10 miles, but oh no, fucking demon that I let out every fucking morning that walks the streets at night, he comes saying, no, bitch, not today, man. There's somebody out there that you don't know, have never fucking met in your entire life, that is doing 12, 13, 14. You're gonna do another one. And when you meet him, you ain't gonna be fucking ready. So, Goggins kept on running.
You're out running on the track, working out, and you start talking to yourself saying, man, my knee is really sore right now. Maybe I'm doing too much. Maybe I need to back off, you know. Man, my lungs are burning. Maybe I can just slow down here. I'll do like an extra 2 sets tomorrow. You know, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Right? That sort of stuff.
Yes.
Like that stuff's dangerous.
Yes.
And that's when you just got to say, you know what? I'm not negotiating with myself.
Yeah.
The deal was already made. The deal was made. When I set out at the beginning of the summer and said, this is the training plan I'm doing, I signed that contract with myself. I'm doing it. You know, throughout that process, you'll start talking to yourself like, man, I think I need to, maybe if we, nope.
If I'm not good enough, we always say that shit. I'm just not good enough, and then we try something else. I'm gonna fucking make myself good enough. And that became my mentality. I'm gonna make myself good enough. And so I misunderstood a lot, but that's all it came down to. I made myself good enough. And the days I couldn't run that far, the next week, I would do 2-a-days. So on the running, if I ran a quarter of a mile, I wait a fucking couple hours, it'd haunt me, bother me. I try to run a half mile the next time, same day. You can do more than this. If I had to walk, I had to walk. It just became just a process of grinding and grinding, and grinding is not even a good word for it. It's not even a good word for it. And just going further and further. And then when I got through running, I go to the bike, I go to the pool. If I got tired somewhere, my legs were tired, I go to the gym, and I developed this crazy workout where I was doing volume.
If you know who you are at this stage of your life, then you're very limited. Right. If I know who I am at this stage, with 55 years old, and I know who I am, this is never going to change.
Right.
This is who I am right now. I'm going to be a very limited person.
Yeah.
You know, every day of our life we change without even knowing.
Absolutely.
Without even knowing we change. I notice the older I get, the closer I am to my past. I started meeting people when I was 7 years old, 8 years old. Now I'm 55. I became world champion. They won 25 or 50 Grammys or platinum albums or something. And we just went on a different world, but we came from that brilliant little cesspool.
Everyone does a few reps where the burn starts and they stop. No one goes the extra mile and keeps going. Like no one's in here right now. Why? Because it's Saturday evening, everyone's going to party, no one's in here, just me. You know, no one goes the extra mile. The thing about traffic jams, guys, there are no traffic jams in the last mile of the race. It's just you and your shadow. In the beginning, everybody's there. All the pretenders and the contenders. They're all there. But the last yard of life, the last mile of the journey, ain't nobody but you and your shadow.
The bike got easier. I was able to run more. I went from like 1 mile. 1 mile is a great accomplishment. 2 miles, and then from 2 to 3 was a big one. Then I went from 3 to 6. And then, like, they have a warning order that they give people to get ready for buds. And the whole thing was running 6 miles 5 days a week. And that was my goal. And so I just I failed, I'll go back to scratch. I use some positive motivation. I have like one day where I'm like fucking defeated. But I started realizing this is part of the process. This is part of the journey. I had to realize this is part of my process.
If you're ready to quit, don't get started. If you're looking for this easy path, don't get started. If you think they're not going to close the door on you and say no 1,000,000 times, don't get started. But every time they close the door, I just get excited. Why? Because I am not a no. I'm one yes away forever. You can't keep denying me forever. This type of energy, this type of passion.
Traffic jams don't exist that far, because everyone else has already given up. That's what I like too, the mental concept. I'm going that far. I love the physical high of the burn being released. I love the mental high that I just improved myself. I love the mentality that I'm just beating my competitors silently where they don't even know it. They're out partying, I'm out here getting ahead. Invincibility, man.
Just stop thinking, worrying,
looking over your shoulder, wondering, doubting, fearing, hurting, hoping for some easy way out, struggling, grasping, confusing, itching, scratching, mumbling, bumbling, grumbling, humbling, stumbling, numbling, rambling, gambling, tumbling, scumbling, scrambling, hitching, hatching, bitching, moaning, groaning, honing, boning, horse shitting, hair splitting, nitpicking, piss trickling, nose sticking, ass gouging, eyeball poking, finger pointing, alleyway sneaking, long waiting, small stepping, evil eyeing, back scratching, searching, perching, besmirching, grinding away at yourself. Stop it and just do.
Every morning when you get up, say over and over to yourself, do it now, do it now, do it now. I do it now, do it now. Whenever you have this tendency to procrastinate, program your subconscious mind with this automatic conditioned command, do it now, do it now, do it now. The key to overcoming procrastination is to develop a sense of urgency. Be the kind of person who gets things done quickly. Be the kind of person who launches fast on a task.
I think it's the self-confidence. If you believe in what you do and keep doing it. I mean, when I was young, I had a lot of people telling me you have to adjust to the other ones. You have to be like the other ones. I was listening, but I wasn't always following. I dragged it in, how do you say, I was listening, but I did my own thing. I kept doing my own thing, and I believed in myself. What was like the question there, like, they judge you even before you come, and they don't even know you. And that was outside the pitch and inside the pitch. But I kept going, and it brought me where I am today.
One of the ways to launch fast on a task is to take the task and break it up, what is called salami slicing it. Slice a piece of salami. Don't try to eat a whole loaf of salami, you eat it one slice at a time. Take your task and break it up into small pieces and do one piece at a time. Say over and over to yourself, do it now, do it now, do it now. Do you know that less than 2% of the population have a sense of urgency? And that there's not an example of a successful person anywhere who does not have a sense of urgency? That if you just develop a sense of urgency, when somebody gives you a task, that you get on it and do it fast, that alone will move you into the top ranks in a very short period of time.
But just fucking do it. Best advice I ever got from Mr. Grazos, do it. He didn't say just fucking do it, he didn't swear. And the best advice I've ever given anybody is just fucking do it. We take too much time procrastinating. And because we're afraid of failure, and fear is false expectations appearing real. We're worried about what other people think. Litany of stuff why you are where you are because you just didn't do it. You didn't want to make a mistake. You got a mortgage. But the bottom fucking line is, if you had 15 years ago you had just done it, 10 years ago you had just fucking done it, 5 years ago if you had just fucking done it, 6 fucking months ago if you just fucking done it, you probably wouldn't be in the position you're in now. So I'm saying no matter what your age is, it's still time to just fucking go out and do it.
I fight against that. You know, it's the big challenge. It's when you're not willing to do something, but you have to do it. This is the main point. This is why I say our mind, it's a box of surprises, and you have to challenge yourself to be consistent. I repeat, sometimes it's hard. It's what many people say, you like to go to the gym every day. Of course not. It's not true. Nobody likes to go to the gym every day. But you have to do it.
You are not responsible for the world. You're only responsible for your work, so just do it. Don't think that your work has to conform to any preconceived idea, form, or flavor. It can be anything you want it to be. But if life would be easier for you if you stopped working, then stop. Don't punish yourself. However, I think that this is so deeply ingrained in you that it would be better for you to do.
Probably yes, because your mental strength is coming from that moments, that in a hard moment, you know you should do it. So, and I do it because after that, maybe in the beginning you feel hard to start, but after when you finish the gym or cold plunge or even the training, you will feel better. I think it's the big key there.
Your time is being captured and your attention is being captured by a thought that could have been gotten rid of had you have just done it. Had you have just had the conversation, broken up with the relationship, left the job, told the father, whatever. Done your stretches, cleaned your teeth, had a shower, whatever it is that you needed to do, all of that anxiety cost could have been gotten rid of had you just gone and done it.
Confidence and believe in what you do. I think that is the goal target. If they can do it, I can do it. And that's the mentality. If somebody else can do it, you can do it. And I said to myself, I will do it and I will do it better. I try to, when I do something, want to be the best. I will not be happy being the second, third, or the fourth. My inspiration is that above everybody else, and that's in everything I do, in my project like this, in my football. And another thing, whatever everybody else says is not important. So if they tell you you're best, it's not important. The important is that you say you're the best.
If you're gonna do it, do it. Say what you can do what you say. If you can't do it, don't say you can do it. Don't over leverage yourself. Don't over leverage a decision and then jump in and kind of dip a toe. I think I'll try it out. No, think if you're gonna try it out beforehand, but when it's time to go, dive. Finish it, find out. Come out the other side. Don't leave it and go, ooh, if I just would it. That keeps me up at night. I think it keeps a lot of us up at night. When you half-ass something you just don't know. Whether you failed or succeeded, got what you want or didn't get what you want. Finding out and looking in the mirror and going, I didn't half-ass it, I went all the way, I found out, and that ain't for me. Or I found out, and you damn right that is for me. That's a great place to get to.
While other people are giving up, feeling like victims, feeling powerless, becoming negative, turning on each other rather than to each other, feeling that they can't make it. Be ye not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind with the mindset of that it's possible. A new economy, it's possible that I can find a new profession, a new job. It's possible I can create a new life. And it's necessary that I become actively involved in becoming a positive force in my life and on the planet. And it's me, yes, it's you, it's all of us, pulling together, working together to create this brand new future. And it's going to be hard. Easy is not an option. But if it's hard, we will do it hard. Whatever is required to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. And it's worth it, yes. It's worth whatever we have to do. And once we know that, it is done. It is done. It is done.
There's no fucking passion. There's no fucking motivation. There's no, oh my God, man. No. It's every day of your life just doing. No passion. No discipline, no motivation. All these words, I hate people. I hate that so many people use these words now because it's watered. It's someone sitting in a room by themselves and they figure themselves out and say, God, this is gonna fucking suck. Where's passion when you're 300 pounds? Where's the motivation when you can't read and write? Where is it? So how did this happen? I just fucking did. Do it, and do it, and do it, and do it. That's the hack. The hack is gonna fucking suck.
I go through the motions. I don't really want to work out. I work out. I really don't want to hammer on a project. I hammer on the project. Don't really want to get up and get out of bed. I get up and get out of bed. Now, these could be signals that you need some time off. And those signals might be right. They could be correct. But don't take today off. Not today. Wait until tomorrow. Don't give in to the immediate gratification that is whispering in your ear. Go through the motions. Lift the weights. Sprint the hill. Work on the project. Get out of bed.
Just doing it makes you do more. Like, do more hard shit makes you do more hard shit. Yeah. Understand that you want it bad, so you're willing to put into work and do things you don't want to do. It's what makes you have that confidence that you know how to push through, and the mentality that I'm the type of dude to get shit done. Like, I'm not gonna waste my day just sitting around a fucking hotel room. No, I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna work all day. I'm gonna drive 5 hours and keep that radio gig, and then drive 5 hours and spend 10 hours of the fucking 24 in a day in a goddamn car to do gigs.
Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it! Some people dream of success while you're gonna wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not gonna stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can! Just do it! If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. And if you're creating from the field instead of from matter, you no longer have to go anywhere to get what you want. If you are connected to that invisible field of energy called the unified field, the quantum field, which connects everything physical and material, and you're aware of it and you're connected to it, you're connected to source. Why would you, if you were source, why would you go get anything? You draw it to you. So the thought, a coherent brain, is the intent, it's the electrical charge. The elevated, the motion, the heart has a magnetic signature. It's the magnetic charge. The thought is sending the signal out, it's a directive. The feelings drawing the event back. Create that combination, and now you're gonna collapse space and time, and you're gonna draw those synchronicities to you now.
I have an insane belief in my own ability to manifest things. Insane belief. I think it's ultimately complete sanity. I believe we're creators, and I believe we create with every thought and every word. Every moment is pregnant with the next moment of your life. We all start out with a false belief about ourselves, with some untrue thing that we believe walking through our lives. I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable, I'm gonna fail. Whatever your basic mistaken belief about yourself is, you form a personality around. You know, it's the grain of sand in the oyster. So I form characters that way a lot of times. I'll ask myself, what's the speck of sand?
You're gonna use that energy to create the next one, and it gets weird. I've had some crazy synchronicities in the last 3 days. I'm laughing while I'm driving, going, oh my God, this life is so incredibly mysterious. What an amazing ride this is. That's a different perspective when you're not synchronizing. Well, you ask the person, was it worth it? You showed up every day, was it worth it? Absolutely. So when it starts happening and you start seeing those, you see feedback in your world, you're gonna pay attention to what you did, and you're gonna do it again, and you're gonna be like, okay, I've done this, and I've done this. People who heal themselves have very little difficulty healing someone else.
Good times create weak people. Weak people create bad times. Bad times create strong people. Strong people create good times. Leaders anticipate, losers react. If you can anticipate what's coming, you can really take advantage. If you wait till it hits you, you're in trouble.
People talk about manifestation, right? Manifestation is real, but not because your mind manages to magically attract the things you want. I think it just reminds you of what you really want, and it allows you to find energy all the time. If you manifest yourself having a perfect physique, you're gonna be a lot more motivated in the gym. It's not the thought that makes the physique, it's the gym that makes the physique. However, the manifestation makes you want to go to the gym. So I do believe that if you understood the power of your thoughts, you'd never think negatively ever again. But I think manifestation works in another way. I also think that once you understand all of the bad things and good things that come into your life are a perfect plan from God himself, you're going to be a lot less affected by the bad things. If something bad happens to you, it's part of God's plan. He knows what he's doing. In the end, you're going to be happy it happened. I often ask people, is there anything bad that's happened to you in the past at the time you were distraught about that you now wish didn't even happen?
If you can see it here and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen. So I see these shots, I see these sequences, and I don't shy away from them. A lot of times people believe in certain things, but they keep to themselves. They don't put it out there. If you truly believe in it, if you become vocal with it, you are creating that law of attraction, and it will become reality. I knew he would overextend. and I knew I'd catch him.
There's this thing about people, and they talk about manifesting. It's fucking real, man. Manifesting is real. When you figure out who you are and what you want to do, and you devote your life to it like a maniac, like you're all in on this thing, and you manifest, most of these people end up, doing what they say they're going to do and being who they say they're going to become. It's real. And there's no excuses. There's fucking days off. There's no, not willing to grind and, everybody's against me and this didn't happen for me because of this and that and all this whining and that a lot of people do these days. It's these people who dive in and they're hardcore and they're focused and they know what they want, they know who they are, and they lay out these short-term goals and this roadmap on how to get there. Most of those people make it.
People like us, we're crazy in the sense that we believe it's almost delusional sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah, like, what's the one, I've heard this quote on the JRE before, it's like, greatness and madness are next door neighbors and they just borrow each other's sugar once in a while. Bro, I can manifest like a motherfucker. Everything comes from the imagination. Everything comes from, before this microphone was a microphone, someone somehow thought about it. Now, how can I speak into something that would amplify my voice and blah, 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 and then this came out of it, and it's evolved over the years. But everything comes from the imagination. So the power of the mind, people don't understand. We still don't understand. I still don't understand how powerful it is. I'm still learning. But I know one thing is I can make things happen.
The biggest problem people have is they think they're not supposed to have any. And problems are the fuel for growth, right? And so it's like, if you don't have any problems, you're either a liar or you might call them challenges. It feels better. I understand that. But, anybody who doesn't have problems is either totally asleep at the wheel or they don't have much of any kind of a life. But then there's fulfillment. And fulfillment is living what you're made for.
I've manifested things that I'm just like, I still shock myself, like, how the f did I make that happen? And this is not even to do with fighting. This is to do with my personal life. And I'm like, I made that happen. And this is through this manifesting subconsciously as well. Just years of something just manifesting, and boom, it's right there. I'm just like, shit, I really made that happen. It's scary, man. It's scary for me to even think about. Both of them together, when you have the vision and you're able to manifest, but then you also put the work in, magic happens, man. Magic, that's where the magic is. But a lot of people never get there, unfortunately. A lot of people, we're blessed that we can dream.
Walk to the train. Man, this is gonna be great today. That's how your mind works 24/7. It never turns off. You have got to change the way you think. It is the whole determining factor of where you go in life. We are all where we are today because we thought ourselves to this position. If you don't like the position, think yourself out of it. Change your attitude, you change your altitude.
Is it a lack of confidence? No, it's a lack of mission, right? Because what happens is when you have something you want to serve, if it's your child and everything's on the line, you won't come up with answers. You'll never come up with it for yourself, right? So it's like having that sense of mission. And then I think the next problem is that people think they have to know how. I call it the tyranny of how. Like, you get all excited, I'm gonna do this, and then your brain goes, I've never done it before, oh my God, what did I say? I don't know how to do this. And they tend to focus on how to do it, and when you start with how, you're screwed. But the bottom line is he gets up there and he gives his vision of how it can be done. He talked about what needs to happen and why.
And I think if you take these approaches, if you take the approach of manifesting what you want so you're constantly motivated and understanding all the bad things that happen to you are just a lesson and one day you're going to get over it, it's pretty easy to be a happy, contented, balanced person. I don't think there's any serious magic to happiness. I think it's a choice and it's pretty easy to do.
It starts with yourself, man. You got to start diving into those things that you're afraid of. You don't gain confidence by going to the spot that makes you feel good. It's going to be a false reality. And the second life gives you that challenge, all you want to do is go back to what made you confidence or what gave you confidence. Is that happy spot? No. What gives you confidence, what gave me confidence, was spending years at a kitchen table trying to learn how to read and write on my own.
You just eliminate all external distractions, that's what's going on, and just focus on the process itself and enjoying it every single day. Chopping wood, carrying water. Greatness is not meant for a few chosen people. It's meant for those who persistently pursue their dreams every day and make that choice when they wake up.
Everyone is jealous of what you've got. No one is jealous of how you got it. My people see the trophies, but not the training ground.
Everybody wants the view, but no one wants the climb.
In life, folks, you cannot change your life unless you change something. If you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. No matter what it is. Many times you say to yourself, I gotta lose weight, I'm too fat. And then you know what? During the day you eat at night, and the next day you get mad at yourself. Well, what do you want? What do you want? You gotta change something.
There's a quote that I've fallen in love with. The magic you are looking for is in the work you're avoiding. Fuck, dude. The magic you are looking for is in the work you're avoiding. And every single time.
If you don't fail, you're not even trying. I'll say it again. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. My wife told me this great expression. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. He says, imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential. The ghost of the ideas you never acted on. The ghost of the talents you didn't use. And they're standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you because you could have brought us to life, they say. And now we have to go to the grave together. So I ask you today, how many ghosts are going to be around your bed when your time comes?
My hero. That's who I chase. Now, when I was 15 years old, I had a very important person in my life come to me and say, who's your hero? And I said, I don't know, I got to think about that. Give me a couple of weeks. I come back 2 weeks later. This person comes up and says, who's your hero? I said, I thought about it. You know who it is? I said, it's me in 10 years. So I turned 25 10 years later. That same person comes to me and goes, so are you a hero? And I was like, not even close. No. She said, why? I said, because my hero is me at 35. So you see, every day, every week, every month, and every year of my life, my hero is always 10 years away. I'm never going to be my hero. I'm not going to attain that. I know I'm not. And that's just fine with me because that keeps me with somebody to keep on chasing.
I'm going to have setbacks, I know. But if I'm feeling bad, that doesn't mean I'm doing bad. That doesn't mean I am bad. That doesn't mean that I can't still take some action. Because yeah, nothing changes and nothing changes, man. We'll sit around forever wondering, well, what if I was a dog catcher? Would I be the best? What if I was what if I'd worked on that, at a avalanche? Who would I, would I be able to do it? Would I? You don't know till you say, yeah, I'm gonna take action. Nothing changes if nothing changes, man. And I'm not preaching at you. I'm just, I just want to remind you because I've spent a lot of time in my life sitting around wanting things to change. That in order for something to change, there needs to be change.
Everybody has that voice in their head that says, hey, could you really do this? Is it going to happen? A lot of times we all say, somebody blows a whistle and says, all right, come on, you don't belong here, get out of here, we're taking you back. That's not the way it is. If you believe it, if you really believe that you could be something, if you have that little voice in your head saying, hey, you got talent, you could do this, then follow that voice.
So here is a list of things that are not doing the thing. Preparing to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Scheduling time to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Making a to-do list for the thing isn't doing the thing. Telling people you're going to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Messaging friends who may or may not be doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Writing a banger tweet about how you're going to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on yourself for not doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on other people who have done the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on the obstacles in the way of you doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Fantasizing about all of the adoration you'll receive once you do the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading about how to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading about how other people did the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading this essay isn't doing the thing. The only thing that is doing the thing is doing the thing.
The real message is we all started from nowhere. I mean, we all had bullshit jobs. We all felt like losers. But through time and effort, you build a stronger human. You build a stronger body, you build a stronger mind, you build accomplishments and will and momentum. And then you look back and you go, hey man, I'm not washing tables anymore. You know, I'm not washing dishes. I'm not cutting lawns. I'm not digging ditches.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a different person now, but I used to be.
Few things, about 3 things to my account that I need each day. One of them is something to look up to, another is something to look forward to, and another is someone to chase. First off, I want to thank God, because that's who I look up to.
So you got to get out there. You got to give it everything you got, whether it's your time, your talent, your prayers, or your treasures. So the question is, what are you going to do with what you have? I'm not talking about how much you have. Some of you are business majors, some of you are theologians, nurses, sociologists, some of you have money, some of you have patience, some of you have kindness, some of you have love, some of you have the gift of long suffering, whatever it is, whatever your gift is. What are you going to do with what you have?
And my older brother, who was 12, got into an electrical accident and he died in my arms. And really come to terms with that I was the one who got to live. That this life that we live, it's a privilege.
Right. When you ain't got shit and there's nothing going on, to have faith then is so difficult. To have faith when you're successful, it's like, yeah. Listen, bitch, you've been successful for a while. Of course you got faith. Just keep doing what you're doing.
That's easy.
It's all, it's like
absolutely right.
It's like you already got up the hill. Now you're just coasting.
Yeah.
You know, you're just rolling down the hill. Everything's great.
That's the easy
It's all
part.
smooth sailing.
Yep.
The hard part is getting up that fucking hill. Especially if you got a dad you're hiding from. Especially if you feel like you're a loser, or you never really had anything in your life that you could look back on and say, hey, I was really good at that. You know, and there's a lot of people out there listening to this. There's so many people that are in that starting point. Like the people that come up to you and say, I don't know what to do. What should I do? How do I do it?
Yeah.
How do I get going? But you're going to have to figure it out, one foot in front of the other.
Exactly.
You're going to have to find a thing and keep working at it and get better at it.
What if it's a mistake? It's a mistake. Rest assured. What do you know? You're going to stumble around, right? And what's going to happen is this. You're going to move, you're going to not stay in stasis. You're not going to wander around in circles. And I see people like that. They said, well, I never knew what to do, and now I'm 40. It's like, that's not so good. That's not so good. And you might say, well, and there is a literature too that suggests that people are a lot more unhappy when they look back on their lives about the things they didn't do than they are about the mistakes they made while they were doing things.
So this is a whole issue. People have a feeling that they can change, but they have no effort. They don't want to get into the game because they feel it's just too much time. It doesn't work, and I tried it, and it didn't work, and then they give up, and then life just goes on. It's seamless. You don't see it. It's just the way you've been living it.
And when I really started to take that in, I felt this tremendous urge to do something with my life, to do something that mattered, to matter. My biggest fear is to not matter. My biggest fear is to be ordinary. You know, I got this chance to live. He didn't. So it's my duty, it's my obligation, it's my purpose to do something with this time that I have.
I hit a wall, my God, and then I had to die a little bit, and I barely got back up. It's a phoenix transformation at each turn, and it's painful. But the thing is that even though you've traveled 20 miles, let's say, on that road, and you've only moved 3 miles forward, you've moved 3 miles forward instead of falling backwards, because that's the thing too, is that if you stand still, you fall backwards. You cannot stand still, because the world moves away from you if you stand still. And there's no stasis, there's only backwards. And so if you're not moving forwards, then you're moving backwards. And that's more of the underlying truth of the Matthew principle. To those who have everything, more will be given. From those who have nothing, everything will be taken. It's a warning. Do not stay in one place.
And I tell a lot of people go, what's your biggest fear in life?
And my biggest fear, honestly, was, let's say this. Let's say I don't care if you believe in God or not. I don't care. So this is play a game with me. Let's say you're God, and we have a big fucking long line of people. And I made it to heaven. I'm 75 years old. I'm 300 pounds. I made it to heaven. I worked for Ecolab my entire life, spraying for cockroaches. That's what I did. But I'm dead. I'm in heaven now. And you're judging us all now. So we're in line. We're all sitting there in line. And you have Adam Brown. He has a big board up, and you're talking to Adam Brown about his life. And you rip it down, and I'm next in line. David Goggins. Okay, man, pull up record, all this shit. And I'm like, that's not me, man. And God looks at me and says, that's who you were supposed to be.
I still live like I'm not, by choice. Most people don't have a choice. I worked my ass off, and now I have choices.
I want to let you all know that how important your today is. Your now is. Study hard, work hard, play harder. Don't be bound by rules. Don't hurt anybody. Never grow up and never ever live somebody else's dream. Remember, however many times you go wrong, no matter how many times you fail, despair, feel like this world is against you, in the words of Bob Marley, at the end, everything's gonna be all right.
You know when you work and you're like, man, I feel like I like need a break. The better and better that I've gotten at working is that I can like kind of like whip my head back in and be like, confront, keep going. And I'm like, oh, all right, I'm gonna keep going. And then you kind of realize that there's like a 5-minute, sometimes 15-minute period where like your output slows a little bit, but then you catch the next draft and then you're in again. And then 3 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours more pass and I'm like, oh, I actually finished everything that I said I was going to do. That muscle of doing that takes practice, and the only opportunity that you get to flex that muscle, to practice it, is to work yourself to the point of fatigue and then being able to be like, no, I can power through this. And the thing is you can power through it. It just takes practice, and practice takes repetition.
You know, most of the talent people, they lazy. Most of them. I meet a lot of talent people, but they all like, I don't want to say 100, but 99% they lazy. Okay, you know, like, but hard working, when you don't have talent, you have to work so hard. When you work so hard and sacrifice your time, dedicate, like sacrifice, you become more disciplined. Yeah. Because he knows, like I know a lot of people, athletes, they don't train like maybe 6 months, maybe 1 year. They come to the gym with same weight and they need like maybe 1 month to become shape. But a lot of people, if they finish training 1 year, maybe they never come back. You know, there's like everybody have different body, different. Like Allah, some people give like, some people have like they very strong. Some people like they very smart but no muscles. You know, everybody is different. You know, but most of them talent people, my opinion, they lazy.
There's always someone out there who's working harder than you. I'm haunted by that motherfucker. Knowing that someone out there is willing to forgo personal desires and comforts, forgo sleep, forgo whatever it takes to be better, to be the best. In life, a lot of times, we'll always have that person out there. There may not be a name or a face to him, but he exists. You make sure in life they think about that person. You make sure they put a name and a face to it. You make sure the name and face is yours. You do the haunting. Get in somebody's head. Own space. In those times when you want to quit, because we're all human, you make sure you remember one thing. All those times and hours and days you sacrifice to be the best.